want to do Andy Katz's Big Ten first team real quick. Andy Katz put
Yay!
Andy Katz put out a video of his 4 locks to make the All Big Ten first team this season. Then he had 3 players in contention for the 5th spot. The 4 locks were Zach Edey, Terrence Shannon, Boo Buie. Bruce Thornton at Ohio State is a lock to be All Big Ten first team. Then he had 3 players contending for the 5th spot. He had Tyson Walker. He had Braden Smith. He had Tony Perkins from Iowa as the only 3 players in contention for the 5th All Big Ten first team spot. What do you make of Andy Katz's latest group? It's not a list. It's a group.
Yeah, well, first of all, shout out to our good friend Andy Katz for doing the Lord's work. This is the stuff we need. We need more lists, and it's been too long since he's gave us a list. So I appreciate him putting this out. The lock word, I think, is not taken seriously enough throughout just the country in a whole, even outside of basketball, whether it be in betting, whether it be in life. People love to throw the L word out way too much. Right now, there are 2 locks to me for first team All Big Ten. I'll go with 2 that I think are going to be there. And I think that's only Edey and Terrence Shannon Jr. I think those last 3 spots are currently still up for grabs, and they're not locks. Tony Perkins won't even make an all honorable mention list right now. So he shouldn't be mentioned on the first 2 Big Ten teams. No mention of Braden Smith, who, if we're going to pick a point guard,
Braden Smith's mentioned. He's mentioned. Huh? He's one of the 3.
But he wasn't. But if Bruce Thornton is a lock, then Braden Smith just being mentioned doesn't do it for me.
Okay, that's fair. Boo Buie's not a lock to you?
Right now, he's not a lock. No.
How's Boo Buie not a lock?
Because Northwestern as a team scares me.
I mean, they're clearly already a little bit ahead of all the middle of the pack. Like, they beat Purdue because of Boo.
That's what we can't. But that's just what they do. They roll out of bed and they beat Purdue and Evanston.
But I don't think they're going to lose all these Big Ten games we think they could potentially lose. The Big Ten's horrible. So
you would have. How many locks would you have on the first team right now?
3. Boo's a lock. Boo's crazy. Come on. It's like, come on. Boo's numbers are crazy. Northwestern's better than we thought they were going to be after losing Audige. There's no, I get like we've done this whole dance for now 2.5 full seasons of like, who is the better point guard? I could go dig up receipts where I had an entire month of Michigan State fans on my ass for saying Boo Buie's a better player than AJ Hoggard. Look where we are now. Boo Buie is literally one of the best point guards in the country. He's the only reason Northwestern has a pulse. He's the only reason they beat Purdue. He's a lock. His numbers are stupid.
When you go stat for stat, Bruce Thornton's numbers are damn similar / maybe even better than Boo.
What are Bruce Thornton's numbers?
Okay, so I got Boo Buie's right now. Boo Buie is averaging 18 a game, 5 assists, 3 rebounds, 46 from the field, 36 from 3. Okay. When you go Bruce Thornton.
Great numbers, by the way.
No, those are great. Oh, they're definitely great numbers. Bruce Thornton is averaging 19 a game. He's averaging 19 a game, 4 assists, 2 rebounds, shooting 47% from the field and 42% from 3.
No, who we haven't mentioned?
Who?
Let me give you this guy's numbers. Tell me what you think of this guy's numbers in comparison to Boo Buie and Bruce Thornton. 19 points a game, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, 46% from the floor, 37% from 3 on 6 attempts. That's Doug McDaniel. Doug McDaniel is literally playing at the same level as Boo Buie and Bruce Thornton. So I'm not putting Doug ahead of those 2 because Michigan's bad. They're the worst team out of those 3 teams. But like, if we're going to do the dance where Bruce Thornton's a lock, like there are other guards in this conference doing this right now.
Okay, so since we're doing this, give me your first team All Big Ten right now.
The only locks are Boo, Shannon,
I hear the locks. I want your first team.
Am I doing I think it'll be?
As of December, whatever date it is, December 13th.
So I'm not doing what I think it'll be at the end of the season. I'm doing based on what I've seen through this point in the season.
Yep.
And I can do any position, right? I can put 3 point guards on this team if I
Yeah,
want.
you can do whatever you want.
The 5 best players in the Big Ten this season have been Zach Edey, Terrence Shannon, Boo Buie, Braden Smith, and Doug McDaniel in that order. Those have been the 5 best players. Doug has been better on a team that has less than Bruce Thornton has been and Tyson Walker has been.
Okay, I like that. I'm not mad at that. I think like I said, can't argue. Give me Edie Shannon 2. Pencil him in. If you want to get the award out early for the first team plaque, go ahead and just get that out the way. I don't know if you can save costs with a Christmas Day sale for plaques and gold. Go ahead and put that on there. And then I think I'd go Boo. I go Braden. And I think right now I go Bruce over Doug slightly.
Here's the hard part for me with Bruce. I think Bruce, I'm doing the voter thing where like he has Roddy Gale, and that affects me a little bit with Bruce. Like Roddy Gale's really, really good and arguably some games better than Bruce.
But you put Braden in there when he has Edie.
Right, but I think like Braden is the guard doing it. Braden's a triple double threat. He's one of one. Like Bruce is going out and getting us 19 a game. That's sick. That's awesome. Roddy Gale's had games where he's had 18, 7, and 5 on this team. Like and that's why together they're one of the best backcourts in the country. But like there's an element of this that like when Boo goes out and has a masterpiece, it's because Boo is unstoppable solo. Braden, yes, he has Zach Edey, but he's one of one. He's the only guy who will go get you 10 rebounds and 10 assists in a game. Doug McDaniel's essentially doing it by himself. I know Com was out there, but like Doug's the only guy with the ball in his hands every possession for Michigan. He runs everything. Tyson Walker, same thing. Like right now, he has to do everything for Michigan State. Like that, to me, that matters and is more impressive. I would have Tyson ahead of Bruce Thornton too, because Bruce doesn't need to be the guy every night. His scoring is impressive, but until they start winning more, I'm kind of on that.
Yeah, true. I think it's going to change, obviously, because it's based on Big Ten play too. Like, if you want to do that, I don't know. I've never seen like the voting criteria, but do they just look at Big Ten play?
I don't know.
Because if they do, like, then you can't put Doug in there right now because he's had 2 kind of stinkers in the Big Ten.
Yeah, that's
for his standard.
If the question you would ask me was not as of now and it was at the end of the year, Doug's not in mine. I would still have the same 4. I would have Braden Smith. I would put Tyson Walker at 5 if we were doing
I think that's what I would do if I was predicting end of the season too.
I do think it's crazy because that's what Katz was doing, was projecting to the end of the season. I think it's crazy that he had Tyson Walker in honorable mention instead of in that.
I think it's crazy. I'm more about, I can't believe Tony Perkins was in there.
Yeah, it's insane. Is there any long shots you would have put in? Like, if he's going to put Perkins in, is there anybody else you would have thrown? I would have thought Khalil Ware gets a mention.
Yeah, I think Khalil Ware definitely is one that should get a mention. Outside of that, I mean, even if we're looking at Ohio State, like Roddy Gale, I think if we go to the end of the season, will be a guy that maybe even gets in before Bruce Thornton.
I think Jameer Young deserves a mention. I know they've been horrible, but
he's been kind of bad too, though.
17, 4, and 3.
What are his percentages like really bad though?
39, 31, 92% for free throw.
Okay, that's not bad. I thought it was worse than that. He definitely deserves a shot then.
Yeah, he's up there. People just aren't giving him credit because Maryland's been horrible, which is fair. But yeah, I don't know. Last thing for me, never put Cliff Omoruyi on a preseason team ever again. This is 3 consecutive years we've had him as like preseason first team All Big Ten, and he just.
Can I take an early victory lap on that?
You can.
Okay. I tried to tell y'all. I mean, I did say it was going to be Coleman. That doesn't look as good right now, but I was just saying, like, we're talking about another big making the list. It ain't Cliff.
Okay, this is a speed round. Final topic today.